my sweet friends. I hope you are all doing well. Welcome back. It's Monday. We're working in our October Stories album, and we're going to cover the layouts for the stories 13 and 14 today. If you're enjoying this style of video, you might also enjoy our content that we share on Wednesdays. We have a regular paper crafting tutorial there at 7 p.m. Eastern, so maybe you can join us for that. We have a good time and we make stuff, and so I'm hoping to see you there. So now let's get into these layouts. So in this video, we are not only going to be completing the second insert, but also our first book. So when we get done with these two layouts, we're going to transfer into a new insert and a new cover, and then we will continue on from there. But you can see that we're getting a lot of volume from this, and so I'm very happy that this one is going to be wrapped up today. I have already added the pattern paper for this layout, and I am just going back through my scraps for this. I want to utilize all of the things that I've cut into, and so I've just kind of split that page and ran a little border so that it would hide where the first layer didn't cover the full sheet. The picture for layout 13 is the story of the best box. Now, if you are a cat parent, you will know that you must have a box. And it can't just be any box. It has to be the best box. Many boxes come in to your household, especially if you order from Amazon, and there will only be one chosen best box. I don't know the criteria they use to determine that the best box is that box, but there is only one. Now, the trouble is if you have 2 or more cats, they will fight over this box. I don't think they really want to have the box. I think they just want the other one to not have the box. So basic toddler mentality there. And so we do have this one box, came from Amazon, obviously, and it's kind of sat under our entryway table on the rug. This is a thing that Michigan people have to have because whenever you come in, there is just snow and stuff everywhere. And so you got to have a big rug when you come in. That box sits under the table and they will fight over this. It has been known to cause the cat stampede, which is a little crazy. We do not have carpets in our house besides at the door, and cats don't have brakes. So when they start running around, they will crash into things. And so this is the best box. Apparently it is Lily's turn to have the box, but Tinker is waiting and ready to have it as soon as she gets out. I have a couple of details that I want to add as a layering underneath the picture. And so I'm just going to tack those onto the back. I've got my little star sticker and then also my number, and I just want to tack that onto the back so that I can capture that between the layers. And then I also have a background I created with a 3x4 cut apart. Y'all, this was a deep dive into the stash. I don't actually remember who this journal card came from. I'm leaning towards Simple Stories, but that could be wrong, and if you recognize it, let me know in the comments. It wasn't quite large enough for the space that I wanted to cover, so I cut it in the middle and then separated it onto a piece of scrap paper. Then it was too big, so I cut the scrap paper and rejoined it so that it would take up the right amount of space on this right-hand side. Before I attach that, though, I want to include this little sticker strip that came from, obviously, a collection in the sticker sheets. So I really plan to use this more for a landing zone for the layers that I want to include over top. So I'll just remove the excess. Then I'll get this centered on the page. Kind of handy to have plaid paper so I can line that up and keep it straight. Now I can add my picture with those few details adhered to the back. Actually, really love the stamp on this with the bats, and I think that orange works really well with my background paper. So now that we've got our picture landed, I want to include a few more stickers. I did want to create a cluster with these so that I could add them all at one time, but not too much overlap was going on there. And so I think I'll just add these separately. So I have a little bit more room here on this side because of that box, and we don't really need to advertise Amazon because they're doing enough of that on their own. So if I cover that up, it's not a big deal. Just trying to get that straight. Then I have another set of pumpkins. They're a little bit shorter. So let's add those to this side. And then in the middle, I have just a little hat. And so that kind of creates a border of stickers that lands on top of that spider web strip. So that's going to cover a little bit of the box and really fill that in nicely. So for the left-hand side, I want to use another of those cutter parts that came from the same sheet. And so this just has another stamp and kind of an all-over polka dot. I had hoped to add my words here, my sentiment, but those lines were too close together, and so that's not going to work out for this, but I think I can add some additional layers to incorporate that. So I'm just adding that, and I know there's a gap, but we'll cover that up with the additional layers. And so I do have a tag. Now this was part of that Simple Stories Fabulous collection. And sorry, Frank, but you didn't make it this time. We're going to use this back side. The B side has another polka dot, and I think this scale is going to work perfectly so that all those patterns don't look too busy. And then I added my sentiment here. These were some stickers I got ages ago from that bargain section at Joann's. I think it's the Perk Lane section. But anyway, I was able to spell out the best box, and I kind of kept it so that the words would end here, and then I can fill in details going around. But see, now I can add this, and even though I'm stacking polka dots on polka dots, it's a different scale and a different palette. This is much darker, and the polka dots are smaller, so it doesn't look too busy. Now I want to include one of these stars so that I can capture that between the layers. And the focal image for this page, I think, just really goes along with that stripe perfectly. It was part of another journal card, and I used a circular die to remove the center. And it does really help me to balance the dark background of that carpet. And so let's just add this here. I'm not going to add too much pressure because I want to tuck something underneath there and have that as a layer. And so I do need to add something to the bottom of this tag to kind of balance that out. So there's just this little banner here, and so that will come from underneath that die cut. Then we'll add a larger star here for balance, and we'll call this layout done. First, let's trim a little bit of that twine, and that is the story of the best box. The picture for layout 14 is, of course, going to be Lily, and I thought it was only fair that if Tinker got to have his own page, then Lily should as well. And Lily is her own unique brand of fabulous. She's very opinionated, and she will let you know what is going on. She is very sweet, though, and so we just love her to bits. Now, she was, of course, another rescue, and she was the runt of the litter, so she has a really small frame. But when we got her fixed, she really plumped out a little bit. So she's kind of round, but she's fabulous and we love her. Now, when I printed this picture, I was trying to figure out if this little red bit, I'm probably not going to be able to see that, but she has like a red stringy thing on her. And I thought at first it might have been a misprint from the selfie or something went wrong with the printing process. And then I realized it was part of the netting from the onion bag that the onions come in. So she has gotten into that produce on the rack that we keep it on and chewed up that bag and left a little bit of that string on her. And that is exactly her personality. She does not care. She is just having a good life. And so this was her having a little nap. Now, the other inspiration for this layout was this tag and image from that Frank Garcia Halloween collection. Now, this was just a really difficult pink to coordinate with. I pulled a lot of papers from my stash, and so ultimately I decided that I couldn't do it. I would work in a neutral background, that being the black, and then I could layer my details on top. So Frank, if you're listening, this is a hard pink to work with. Anyway, I think this layout is going to turn out fun. So I did cover that with that dot. Now, of course, this is the same as the back cover, but that's okay. We can work around that. I do need to lighten that up a little because it is looking a little gloomy. So I have my border strip cut here. Just a nice stripe. I have one for the other side when we get there, but let's go ahead and continue on with our layering. So I've got my little doily here. You see, I am too lazy to pop out all those center sections, but I want this one to be closer to the bottom, and then we'll balance that on this side going closer to the top. So here is a landing base for the additional layers. I'm telling you, this was a dive into that. I did not have even enough of a sheet of that collection left to have a full die cut of this cat pattern, but I can work that underneath the layers. So we're just going to cover that up and pretend that we had a whole circle to go in the back. It's just going to finish off the top of that doily. Now we're going to get into our picture of Lily. Once again, I do want to have a couple of little things behind that. So let's add our star here. And then this is the top of a tag from a Christmas collection from Simple Stories, but the pinks will match well enough for our purpose. So let's just line that up on the top as well. And then stick that down. There is a lot of the dark background showing, so let's cover that up with a sentiment strip. This was cut off of the image that we'll use on the other page, so I'm getting use out of that scrap, and that sort of covers that background a little. Let's go ahead and cover a little bit of that bench she's sitting on. And I've got my number here on this side. Here's my star. And then I have created a layered flower with the Be Bold blooms from Spellbinders. I've just finished that off with an epoxy top brad, and I did not shape those petals at all. I just left them flat so they don't become too bulky. So I just repositioned my star because I realized that I left a cut end exposed. We don't want to do that. So now we have a nice cluster here to balance the one on the top left. I've got my strip on the side to go along with the one on this side. And remember that we have two doilies and I wanted to offset them for balance. This one I'm being a little more careful to keep away from the edge so that it doesn't get a little foldy when it gets caught in here. So let's try that and make sure. Yep, that works just fine. Now I have more of that cat paper on the pink background. Still, I don't have enough for a full die cut, but once again, we're just going to disguise that cut edge underneath the layers. So let's add that here. Time for that tag that was the inspiration for this whole layout, and then also the picture was part of another tag, and I just clipped that off so that I would have, you know, a focal image for this side. So I'm going to put these in, you see, at an angle, and then I'll add that here. So now we've hidden that cut end underneath those layers. I've got a star here to cover these cut ends, just working along as I go. You have 2 more of those flowers. This time, instead of the brad, I'm just using a large sequin so that I can finish off the center, and that's going to go down here. I do need a couple of pieces of foliage, and green would not work out at all, so let's go with black. And so I'm just going to attach these to the back of the flowers before I add them to the page. So now that I have that arrangement done, I can add it to the page. I'm just using hot glue for this. So now that I have that arrangement done, I can add it to the page. So now I think I need a little bit of something to fill in this corner. And I dove back into those stickers to get whatever I have left of the pink ones. And so I'll just add these sentiment strips here at the bottom. Just using those dots to keep them lined up. I'm going to start with the longest one on the bottom and work my way up just to fill that corner in. And that is it for story 14. Okay, let's have a go at putting this into the cover and see how we wind up with volume. Now, I think this is going to be absolutely perfect. I'm going to come back in at a later date and we'll add some more details like those enamel dots and some sequins and some other things, and that will kind of help to finish off these pages. So once again, this is the last insert for the first book, and next week we'll start a fresh new insert and a fresh new cover. So that's going to be all for today. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know in the comments and give me a big thumbs up for this tutorial. As always, I put links in the description for our socials. And if you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join my crafty little family. As always, I'm wishing you a happy and productive day. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.